Good morning. My name is Inhabitants of Baksay. I just realized yesterday afternoon in London. Good afternoon. Afternoon of Baksay as different also suffering from Jesus guys in the Church of Jesus Christ in Salt Lake City, Utah. We actually at them here in London, in the United Kingdom, Europe Union, and I can stay here in London Central Mission, London Mission, and London Temple District, and Europe Central West area. I spent the last working on a project for members of the Church of Jesus Christ as well, since translation of the song Vicarious is not now. That I have an early. We actually was pondering to place our view so actually thought that we might have some more of we'll have some more friendships towards the Ascension times. So we discovered that they'll be happier in situations. If anyone wants to ascend to heaven, yes, at the moment, simply not needing to ascend. So we was trying for years, for over a decade, to be saved. And at the beginning, we was actually not having such early perspective in our mind. But as long as those members in the Church of Jesus Christ, he was actually getting perspective. So he was actually standing on the street, and he was also understanding very open center in Salt Lake City, where they had the president elected name themselves first presidency, called first presidency, where they consist of eventually 3 apostles that claiming to be a seniorship of apostleship. And we discovered in those 14 years that there is lots of that they out-dependent, they are real gross misconduct regarding the word of wisdom, and they actually serving hot drinks and downfall and temptation. And as a commandment to some spirits too, so there are some spirits there, they say, in the temple there's hot drink, everywhere hot drinks there. And then there is also farming against the word of wisdom, they killing animals, producing of food, packaging the food of dead animals, and giving to children to learn from childhood to eat flesh. Like if that was still before Adam, those ages that the bodies was quite nice, think like they also was having, but it didn't yet have the estimation as Adam and Eve, that they were receiving breath of life and was organized to ascend to heaven. So now we have 10,000 years later since Adam, so we maybe shall finally repent from breaking the word of wisdom. And Jesus was instituting the sacrament that was approximately bread and wine. Then we had this modern apostles in the great worship prohibiting wine. That may also not be as per the prohibited wine. But we have alcoholism by the same first presidencies as well. They actually extremely pressuring by their hosts, also from the future, on themselves and bringing them to alcoholism or notary alcoholism. Notary maybe substance of alcoholism that is like a chemical anacode made people themselves always drunk, and then if they're not drunk, they eventually are possessed by the spirit and they approach them that something's wrong, you're not drunk, you need to be drunk. And that's what I said we might have repentance from. So we lived here 35 years, we observed what was happening in history through thousands of years, and we realized that it needs to be changed in first presidency. As first presidency, there was children, there was maybe 3 years, and there was 4 years, 5 years, and they learned about what they believed is correct, especially in that Nazistic community of Utah, of Salt Lake City, Utah, and U.S. And then they became leaders, but the same Nazistic danger of some sort of Utah fascism, Utah Nazism, that is very hidden with the sorts of like a hook crosses on the flag. It's a spear, so it's a spear across some sort of arrows, like a sign of war, and some sort of like a fascistic outlet, the eagle that is also kind of fascist in Germany. And so they together working at this catching of people and getting them to debut their own chat, kill them. And they name it Justice, such as people from Kukawasa, alias American citizen, Utah. Nazis, catching some innocent people and then getting them some accusations and then killing them and death. So we need to understand that the first list is the influence of forces ours to depend from. We have in Europe some bad, we are very great in discussion, seeing the goodness of Europeans. We don't kill people by justice, they not and they kill. Some was killed, especially in Ukraine, was supposedly great in numbers. Before it was Yugoslavia, killed very many. Then we have also Serbia that is close to Europe Union and Europe continent, and then we have here these settings that the British soldiers was getting on planes and was killing a Libyan. And Libya is very close to Italy, so some 100 kilometers from Italy, most of African continent. So, and that's what I think that we have here 2,300 million Christian disciples in this time in 2015. We're not talking about before among the Lutheran continent, the Church of England, the Alpha Court. 2 billion and 300 million, 2,300 million disciples of Jesus Christ, and we therefore need to do somewhat better. We need to depend somewhat more. I myself was still, I think, that I became a better person, but my circumstance is somewhat more in emergency. So I remember that I was baptized at age 21, straight after my birthday. Jesus was 30, so I was born earlier than Jesus was. As Jesus all better, and as I was trying to get a wife, I realized that these women in the Church of Jesus Christ, my life needs to serve missions. I was serving missions, but before could my wife finally be with me as a friend, so we could have correspondence? At least by her told me as I was serving a mission. There's happened in many cases in the mission in the Church of Jesus Christ, their wives was writing to their husbands, even their husbands as missionaries was not permitted to write to them. What also happened, the missionary sisters and missionary elders that were serving in the same field and the same mission was marrying later. I know it was one example of that mission where I served as President Hinckley, as President of the First Presidency years ago, a decade ago, was calling me to serve on my mission, and I continue faithfully. I'm really faithful in all of the departments, and I feel it, the failure of First Presidency to help local leaders to get members married. It should create trespass against the law of chastity by the First Presidency and by the British Church. So therefore, I aspire to become a leader, but I know that I can do better. I have testimony that I can do much better, and I actually do better regarding all aspects of the law of Jesus Christ. So I realized the alarming situation that I'm in emergency is not economical, so I'm actually the financial pressure of these terrorists and criminal groups of some aspects of Muslims. I actually am willing to forgive them, so I'm actually automatically forgiving. I'm just in need of getting any energy from that great battle that President Muslim was causing against me. I'm not even wise, even if I have stuff to recommend, not even to the children. Even they have such a blessing. So I have had to recommend for years. Then President Muslim was become president for presidency and was attacking the other completely by State President Malcolm Beverley. So since Malcolm Beverley was taken to recommend, was not given to me, even that I was asking many times to obtain them. Also recently, yesterday, I was asking if from the Long Temple District President of Long Temple, President Johnson, on a special interview, if he can help me to obtain some recommend, because the local authority was actually failing to help me. But he has a higher district, local district president might help. So we actually ended the month because the housing emergency. So I was having housing allowance and income. Now both incomes were stopping. I have only some 7 allowance now, and we feel that we're seeing food, we're seeing some supply of electricity and some supply of access and telephone lines. But it is housing emergency, and we actually are in an emergency, but still this is so much modern that it is first presidency within high place, criminal high place. And because we have these attacks constantly, accusations that even blessings, I come to church and blessings upon me. The blessing, blessing elders together, found each other to bless me. And it's such though, like if I was in the first row in the military on the war in a battle, and I was seeing an enemy following me, sitting in church at the gate. And that was happening to me even that I was before full-time missionary. That's going straight by personal first presidency. And I was also in borders in Britannia Ward in High State. So that's also something high calling that is listed in manuals of the Church of Jesus Christ as a world leader, one of the world leaders, secretary in the Episcopal Presidency. I was also sacrament director. I helped chairperson bishop in war as a chairperson bishop, and he's considered directors of the department. So the departments are only the department of sacrament in the Tanamo. That was also 14 elders times 52 weeks. So because we had so much of temporal staff there, there was volunteering 14 times 52. It could happen. So it could happen for them. We was something around 12 or only 10, because we were having only 8 distributing sacrament to bring to members, they see. And then we was having 2 blessings. But sometimes we was having extra 2 prepare the sacrament with 12. And we was having extra 2 clear after. So it's 14 we could really have done 52 weeks. That's really Johnson is 140, down 5. He had over 700 of temple staff that I could preside in a year as sacrament coordinator or sacrament director, director of sacrament. It's actually not only presidency, it's coordinating, but also directing to some degree as director, and got a board of temple staff to press the recent director can do appraisals, can withstand, also prior to temple staff coming, also while they are there, also afterwards, so we can also issue certificates within war, also photographers can be made it, as he was preparing himself. This is 4 years experience that we may have also as document, and I do mark recording also years after I was recording, just for about to learn from experience. I now was recently novelizating the Constitution of America, so it might possible that we access to heaven. I was also learning of the ability to get quality fasting and art fasting to partake ultimately of those herbs that please unto the sight of God and good for food in the sight of God. This is really easy in this time for those that are excessively wealthy. Those that are not as wealthy, there are so many challenges in the men department that might happen. They're not always taking one of those herbs or one of those most wholesome herbs. That's really saying that if we're killing animals and eating them, it's different as if we try to get a good food and we just get something that's not as perfect. But it is herbal. In the same time, maybe those are wealthy can get better food. So we need to actually increase wealth, if you like, if you put wisdom. And the meantime, I think we can ponder about how can we write a last will. As there is such a last will, each child shall learn to write a last will. I sometimes remember in the American Indians in North America, there was having some confusion, which was very glad that there were many European Americans, European, blue eyes and blonde, and they were very intelligent and universities, and there was friendship in American Indians, also to the past tense. And they were giving them lots of intellect. Those Indians in America had extremely plenty of intellect, and we realized that they also knew that each child, approximately up to the age 12, shall learn a hymn that is finally learned, and as a personal hymn, a personal last will, and they was naming a hymn of life and ascension into highest heaven, and they was therefore singing how they want to ascend, very spirit to highest heaven. And some others misunderstood the hymn and were saying that it is not a hymn of life or something else. So something much better we have now, that we can write a last will, give it to a lawyer, and it can be written that we want to ascend to heaven early, about now, early, so as to be evident that we will ascend to highest heaven, spirit and body united in eternal unit. Jesus Christ was supposedly, according to the Bible, ascending age 33, and I testify Jesus Christ really was ascending. I know this is about the Holy Spirit, and also many others as me, for instance, also ascending, and now we hope to ascend very early on. We were showing as Jesus was speaking at age 33 or earlier, that was up to now not happening. So let us therefore sing to one another a beautiful hymn of life, and let us equitize. If we equitize well, President Moses will accept, know how much he needs as a member in the Church of Jesus Christ, so each member shall have. And that's how we can love one another. love one another as I have loved you. This new commandment, love one another.